Hi there. Recently, the Tasmanian Department of State Growth released the long-awaited Greater Hobart Rapid Bus Network report. This was, well, summarised by this news article. Despite this, there are a lot of fascinating and disappointing information in the 374 pages of this report. So in this video, I'll summarise the report, tell you what this service is going to be like, when it could be built, how much it could cost, and more. So, Hobart doesn't have any mass transit at the moment. There's a decent bus network, but that's about it. There's also the abandoned Northern Suburbs rail corridor, which I've consistently advocated for activating rather than abandoning or converting to a busway. Anyways, we need to get to the actual report. It proposes 3 bus rapid transit corridors to be constructed in the 2030s. These are an eastern corridor to Glebe Hill, a northern corridor to Claremont, and a southern corridor to Blackmans Bay. I can't find any clear information on the proposed frequencies, but here's some other key information. The service to Claremont would open by 2032, to Blackmans Bay by 2034, and Glebe Hill by 2036. From looking through maps, it appears that sadly the majority of the network will not be on separated corridors. On the southern route, the entire corridor from South Hobart to the terminus would be in mixed traffic, as with the entire eastern corridor, the section from Glenorchy to Claremont, and a short section in North Hobart that will not be in separated bus lanes. Some sections of lanes will be T3 transit lanes, which only allow vehicles with more than 3 people in them to use them. So basically, all family cars, running them useless for public transport. The only sections of the proposed rapid bus system with dedicated lanes will be the busway from Newtown to Glenorchy, and bus lanes from North Hobart to the city and from South Hobart to the city along the Macquarie-Davey couplet. This is pretty clearly not enough for a so-called rapid bus system, and we should be trying to make as many services as possible on dedicated bus lanes or median busways. Bus services will be operated by a total of 30 battery electric articulated buses, with 11 for the northern corridor, 10 for the southern, and 9 for the eastern. There are some very short stop gaps in the proposed corridor, and some stations I don't know how important actually are. There are some stations I think could be removed and others renamed without much concern. Stops at Rose Garden, Dinurn, Macquarie Point North, Hobart Showgrounds, and Kingston Town could probably be removed, and some slight station location alterations of nearby stops could help. The other things to look at are the serious implications that this network change could cause. Some pages from inside these documents show a large amount of service changes proposed, with many routes eliminated or cut back. All of these services shown on screen will be eliminated or truncated. This will be a deeply poor reflection on Hobart if key services like the 722, X22, X11, X01, X02, X08, and 605 are all removed entirely, and if numerous busy services are cut back, such as the 510, 511, 512, 522, 407, 408, 409, 413, 415, 616, 634, 676, 725, 731, and 732. On top of this, the BRT stations in all 3 major centres of Hobart will be located away from their current interchanges, meaning that most interchanges will be long. Kingston Central to Kingston Park BRT would be a 7-minute walk. From Rosny Park Interchange to Rosny Park Bus Rapid Trains would be a 10-minute walk, and I can't find where Glenorchy Station would even be. I couldn't be bothered to find out the total details of every inch of this project, especially since so much has been censored and 374 pages is too much to find every important detail within. Now I've gone over the basics of the proposal, here's how I think we can get better corridors. Here's how I think we can get better transport on the corridors instead of this proposal. Firstly, the northern corridor. I've spoken about this a few times, but this one needs rail. Put light rail on the Northern Suburbs Railway between the city and Glenorchy at the very least, preferably to Claremont or Granton if you can work out a deal with the Tasmanian Transport Museum. I have a whole video on this already, which you can watch. Now for the other corridors. The most clear thing we need to do is make an actual bus priority infrastructure on these. The most simple solution is to build all of the T3 lanes as bus-only lanes, with proper platforms, shelters, and signage at stations. In addition, several stations could be removed, relocated, or renamed to make this a better project. I'd just like to point out Algona Road Pass Station is a real name proposal for a real station in this. Just call it Maranoa Heights. In the end, this project will absolutely do good for transport in Hobart. Any mass transit is better than none. However, this is a deeply forward project, and I really hope we can see improvements to ensure this will actually get more people on the public transport instead of degrading current infrastructure. Well, this brings me to the end of this video. Sorry it's a bit shorter than what you might have expected. Hopefully I can get a longer video out on this when I have the motivation. The report came out while I was partway through editing a very long video, and my focus will be on that after this. If you want to give me ideas on how we can make transport better in Hobart or Tasmania, then comment down below, or join the Tasmanian Transport Hub Discord server to talk more with other transport nerds in Tasmania. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Tasmanian.